Hey, I thought I'd make a fun little video on drawing a couple of extra objects in Illustrator just using the tools we have. So let's do a first one, real simple thing, and then we'll go a little more complex. Let's make an umbrella. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this ellipse tool, right? And I'll just make myself an ellipse. Yeah, I can always change it later, right? And I'm going to go ahead and just make it, actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it like that because I'm going to need that as a reference. So that's going to be the start of our umbrella. Maybe it needs to be a little thinner. Let's find out. And so what do I need to do to turn this into an umbrella? I probably need to cut away from this. So I'm going to still use the tool here. I'm going to make one of those, 2, 3, and I want a fourth one. So maybe they're not big enough. But I'm going to put up the ruler and just get them all at the same point here. At least this one, I want to go to this point. And then I'll grab all 4 and use our align distribute tools. Whoa, that must have been set to the artboard, so I'll set it to the selection right there. And now I'll grab everything. I'll turn off the ruler for right now and go to the shape builder tool. I hit Shift M on the keyboard and I'll just hold Option and just start clicking away all these things. And there we go. We've got a good start of an umbrella here. So I'll go ahead and make that a little smaller. And now we need a handle. So it's an easiest way to draw a handle. Let's draw a handle with like a little, like the little, you know, the way it kind of hooks right there. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the rounded rectangle tool. And as I start drawing, right, you can see if you use the, the left and right arrows or the up and down arrows, you can kind of change the way it looks. What you're really going to want to do is hit the right arrow and that will turn it into rounded mode. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go in here and up this weight, kind of put it over here with this guy right here. And so what I'm looking for is I want this to kind of come this way right there. I think that's a pretty good weight. Why don't I add it a little more? I'll put it to 8 points for my size here. And so right now that's a stroke. And now I could go to the cutter tool and cut right here and right here to get rid of those. And I have just that right there. Now I need to get rid of that fill. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on right there. See how now I've changed the cap in my stroke, right, to make that. I'm going to send this behind this. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit Command Shift left bracket, or I could have went up to, remember, Object Arrange, bring backward, and there's only 2. And that's pretty easy. I just drew an umbrella, right? And so all we would have to do is now put a little fill in it. You know, it's nothing exciting. I would take off the stroke here. But it's just to show you how to kind of approach building something. Like kind of use... Now with this, one last thing I would do is make sure I stop that from being a stroke and tell it to outline the stroke, right? And that's it. If I wanted to, I could obviously put in some of those spokey type things, and I could do that the same way. I'll go to my my ellipsis, and I'll get that to where I want it. Now this, I want it reversed. I just want the stroke. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to select the circle. I'm going to go to my shape builder tool. I'm going to hold Option, and I'm going to click on the parts that I don't want to keep. And so now this is pretty much there, right? And obviously I didn't do that very well, but there we go. So, right, I could continue that. That's drawing, starting our umbrella. Let's do something a little more complex. Let's make an ice cream cone. So with an ice cream cone, let's start instead with our polygon tool. And so I'm just going to click once with our polygon tool and make sure I'm at 3. Okay. I put it there. I'm going to grab my black arrow. I'm going to hold Shift and make sure I flip this then all the way. I'm just going to go ahead and not hold Shift and pull this down. Right, this is going to be my cone here. So let me try to make it, I'll make it like this big. And I'm going to go ahead and flip so that there's a fill, but let's make it nicer. I'm going to go to Swatches, and I'll make it kind of a brownish color in the swatches. Now we don't want this pointy, right? We probably want it to be smoother than that. So I'm going to go to my direct selection tool, go to the corner widget, and just give that it'll make those all softer edged right there with the corner widget tool. And so now we need some ice cream. Again, I'm going to go to my rounded rectangle, and I already have it in the mode, right? If I had it, I don't want to use this mode. I want to use this mode right here by hitting right on the arrow. And I'll put this, let's put this right about here. And let's give it a bright color of ice cream. It's a whatever flavor would be that color. And a circle, and I'm going to hold shift to make this perfect and get it to center, right? I've got snapping and guides on, so this is easy. Select both of these, go to our shape builder tool, hold down option to get rid of this piece, and actually put all this together so it's all one piece by dragging across with our shape builder tool. So there we have a little bit of a ice cream started. Why don't we make it so that it has a little bit of that thing? So what I'm going to do is select this, and I'm going to select the pencil tool, and I'm going to zoom in here. And so starting where I'm actually redrawing the edge here, I'm going to go ahead and do something like this and make sure I get to the edge here. And so notice what happened there. I just drew this part in freehand, and it updated because I had it selected. It updated this part right here. If I wanted to make sure it's a little smoother, I can go to the smooth tool, right, and just do something like that. But for the most part, I think that's fine. Could it be a little more, maybe I want to make it look like it's been done like a thing here. I could try to do something like this to kind of cut in. I don't love that, but so I'm just going to take it out for now. Really, again, that's okay. The start of an ice cream cone. Let's put in another rounded rectangle. Kind of give this guy a one of those things, right? And why don't we even put another one? Let's make sure everything's centered. Actually, let me do it last. Let's put in one more rounded rectangle. Let's put one right about here. And I just want to make sure everything's centered, so I'm going to go to this and hit my center here, just to make sure everything's perfectly centered. Now these I want to be a slightly different color, so I will just double click in this and give it just a little pull to the darker edges. There we go. And how about this guy? Let's make it drip a little bit. And so that's simple. Let's just go, again, I'm just using shapes here, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab this and put one there. Maybe I'll put one here. I'll put one here. I'll put a longer one, bigger one right there. Okay, and so that looks pretty good. If I wanted to even do these, right, I could do that same trick with the pen tool where I have it selected, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of get it to go in a little bit so it looks like it's dripping. There we go. Just to make it not so geometric, it depends on what you're going for. You might want to leave it geometric. Right? That's pretty easy. So I'm not going to go through all these. It's up to you if you want to, but I will go ahead and select these, grab the shape builder tool again, and just kind of, whoops, whoa, what happened there? There we go. Why does it keep doing that? I think I have something else selected here that I don't realize I selected. Let's try this. Yeah, I must have had something selected there. So we just want that. Why? I'm just going to go ahead and not worry about that for right now. You know what I'm going to do? The easiest way would be just to grab this. For whatever reason, it's messing something up there. So you notice how it did that. And just grab all these. And instead of the shape builder tool, I'll show you something else then. This is, if you're ever having a problem like that with the shape builder tool, I'm going to go to Window, Pathfinder. And so this Pathfinder comes up right here. And so we want to just add all that together. This is the add. And so now you see it pretty much does what the shape tool does, but in a window form. And so I'll put this back over here. And so now we want like a waffly kind of look to our cone. So let's go ahead and make some lines, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and draw some lines and give it a stroke of a lighter. This is the same color as the cone, so I want to click into it, make it a little lighter, and let's make it a little thicker. Let's make it like that. That's good. And I won't turn it into a thing yet. I'll go ahead and just painstakingly make copies here. When it gets too big, I'll just grab those and do that. And hopefully this will be the last one I need. Now, there is a tool where I can do this a lot easier, but I'm going to save that tool for, I'm just showing you how you do it just using the tools that we've discussed so far in the class. There's actually a blend tool where I could have drawn two lines and then had it fill it in. So what do we do here with this? Well, I'll have to just grab everything. So I'll grab all of these bad boys right here and the cone. Okay, back to my Shift M, hold down Option, and just cut these pieces away, right? As I hold Option and click on these bad boys will be removed from our thing. You don't have to worry about the top and how that works there. Again, I would do this slightly different if we were using other tools. I would actually use what's called a clipping mask here. We'll actually learn how to do a clipping mask in a couple classes, but for right now, again, I'm only using what we have here. So now I have those, right? So we want this guy to move to the top, so I just hit Command Shift, whatever the button was. And then same thing here, I'm just gonna move these over the top of those lines, right? So now the hard thing about these lines, and the reason why I just screwed up, is that you see the way the end caps go? What I should have done before I started doing this, and maybe you can Command Z out of this, is I should have went to Object, Shape, or no, I'm sorry, Path, Outline, Stroke. And then when I had this selected and I had this selected, when I optioned that, it would have done that. So I would have had to make sure the line went out. Would have been smarter of me to do it, but whatever. I'm just teaching you how to do this right now. Here, let me show you the quick and easy way. Since we want these going the other way, I do something like this, where I put in my first line. I'm going to go ahead and just grab that. And I'd put in my second line, and I'd take them both, and there's this tool right here called the blend options, and sure, 8 sounds good for right now. So I click on one, click on the other, and see how it automatically put those together. And then I could go to, now I could do a clipping mask. I'll go to Object, Expand, say yes, and then Object, Path, Outline Stroke, and then once again I have to go ahead and grab all of this stuff and Shift M and just kind of go through it painstakingly, right? And do this. You're gone, you're gone, he gone. That's for all you White Sox fans watching. And we'll get this done. Oops, somehow I screwed up there. I don't know what happened there. I think I did the line. That's probably why. So let me just, what do we got here? There we go. Command Z is our friend. Okay, right, and just once again, put this bad boy up top. This one, and this one, and this one need to go up top. Can't grab things. There we go. Okay, so there we've got the start of an ice cream cone. Now, obviously, you could finish here. Other things we can do is start adding shading. We can make this look a lot more realistic, obviously. I just want to show you kind of starting to get you building shapes. Things like adding a shadow here. What I would do is I would actually copy it, Command C, and push Command F. When I hit Command F, it actually pastes it in place. So now I have 2 of those. And so I'm going to do that a third time, Command F. And I'm going to go ahead and move this like this, even give this a little this way, grab that, hit Command Shift, and I'm going to take away then everything that I don't want to be in here. Oops, I want anything that's sideways to get out of here. Let's go this way, right? Good enough. And then take that one, and I will just make that one just the slightest bit darker, right? Right. So we're starting to add some form to something. Same, I would do it with this. Copy, Command F. I actually didn't need to do it the second. I didn't need to do it the third time. I'll just go ahead and move this one over like this, and select the first one. And instead of I'll take away this one, but all I'll do is just click on this one to make it separate. And once again, go to the color and just make it a little darker. Ooh. There we go. There we are. So something like that. Obviously, I can make the form more for me. Maybe a highlight, we could actually then use the paintbrush tool. So I'm going to go to the paintbrush tool. I'm going to change my tool. I'm going to leave it like that. Let's do this. Okay, so I need to have some kind of a stroke on, and I'm actually going to make sure it's a white stroke here. So basically here I have a white stroke. So I'm going to change this to, let's use this one right here. Let's try drawing with this. So I'm going to draw like a little highlight here. And didn't really do what I wanted it to do. So let's see if I change this. I'm just looking for how the different strokes would affect it. I don't mind that. Should be, though, I kind of want that one. Oh, I guess I didn't have it changed there. I don't like that one at all. But you see where I'm going here. I am going to go ahead and try to change the angle. Let's go to basic. Will basic let me do this? It's not changing the edges, is it? Why are you not changing the edges with the width profiles? I'm going to go over here and say, what is the problem? Well, somewhere in here, there's one that would work. And I just can't find it. Sometimes this is why I hate the brush tool in Illustrator. Far better and far easier to use the iPad things these days anyhow. There it is. Somehow, how did it not give it to me the 3 other times I clicked on it? That's what I was looking to do right there. So see, I have this one like that. Maybe do the same thing right here with the brush tool. So now if you double click on the brush tool, right, you see you can do accurate or smooth. We want it at the smoothest, so that way it fixes us for us and makes it nice. So that's it. That's drawing an ice cream cone. Obviously you can go in and do a bunch of things, right? You can render this a lot more. What I might do is something fun, like a little bit of kind of get some of these to make it. So I'm going to grab these, and what I'm doing here is I'm changing to the, I can't grab it. Whatever. I'm grabbing this, and I'm grabbing the eyedropper tool, which is I on your keyboard, and when I have it selected and I click on this, it takes on that one's appearance. And so something like that. Yeah, so I hope this was a little helpful for you to go ahead and maybe show you how you might go about building bigger shapes only using what we have. In Studio One, you're going to do it completely black and white, so you won't be drawing like this with the color and everything, or probably putting these shadings or anything. But you see that it's just a matter of, you don't have to freehand draw, is really what I'm trying to say here in Illustrator. We can definitely utilize what's there to create our shapes and our forms.